You'll never get away from me. Na 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 na.
Right?
Douglas Famey. Good day from Philadelphia.
Oh my God.
Hello. We have one on deck ready to go. Thank you,
We
Doug.
do. Good day. I said good day, sir.
I said good day. How are you? It's a beautiful day here.
It is a beautiful day here, and it is so beautiful. I almost want to do an all beef patty about shallots.
Oh, well, I would allow it.
I made the most delicious salad I've made in my life the other day. I actually forgot the hearts of palm, so I'm really sad about that.
Well, that's how you know it's good if you leave those essential babies out.
But the dressing I made the way you like it, where I chopped the shallots in a white wine vinegar overnight, and then it was with avocado oil, and it was with lots of avocado in the salad. Oh my God, everybody's here!
Sorry, I'm ignoring you for the shallots, but
well, the point is just it was the most delicious salad in the world. And then for days now, my kitchen, even after I threw out the rest of the dressing and I scrubbed the little dressing shaker bottle.
Yeah.
Still, my kitchen smells so strongly of this like oniony smell. My face smelled like it until I went in the shower with like a pumice stone.
Well, and your sense of smell is already heightened, so I mean, I can't even imagine.
I'm like a pregnant dog fresh out of rehab.
I've had that. I've been pickling red onions, and so I understand. Like, if you don't take that trash out immediately, it permeates the whole kitchen. Hello, Terrence Stain.
Oh, everybody's here.
Scott Yannick.
Did you say the kitchen?
Say it again.
Did you say the kitchen?
The kitchen?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean?
What are you doing in there?
Oh, making pricket. Making pricket. That's what you should call your special world famous chicken at when you make it in Fire Island. Making pricket.
Making pricket chicken.
Hello, Larry.
Caitlin Duffy Hall, Drag Race finalist. Oh, by the way, I watched. I got all caught up on this season of Drag Race, and I was, I get in the mood for Drag Race like every 3 months, so I've got to like cram it all in. But I was like insatiable, and so I watched Drag Race Holland.
Oh, that is insatiable.
It was so good.
I tried to watch Canada the other day, and I couldn't do it.
I tried it last night too. I could not do it. And I like the UK, but I haven't watched the second season yet. But Drag Race Holland is one of my favorite drag races.
Maybe I'll have to do that. Because I'm keeping my hello Josh Shear.
Hi guys.
I'm keeping my Wow Presents subscription for now because I want to see the Down Under one whenever that starts.
Yes, me too as well. Oh my God. See, there's a reason.
I love it. All right.
Bacon, does your family also produce bacon?
Bacon pricket.
Making bacon.
Making bacon. It's like it's a whole family of chicken farmers.
Making bacon and bacon pricket is like that, like Larry David and Keith David and Larry Keith thing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Oh God, I can't keep up. I cannot keep up all these different iterations. I thought the judges on Here's the Tea. I thought the judges on Canada's Drag Race were like bad. I mean, they're made horrible calls. I really kind of don't like any of them. I don't. And listen, I never thought I loved RuPaul and Michelle as much as I do until they weren't there.
Listen, we're all just gonna sit here and be quiet while you go away for 11 hours and watch Drag Race Holland because I desperately need you to talk to me about the contestants, the judges, the winners. Yeah. I think you'll automatically know which one I hate and which one I love.
Right. Well, I haven't caught up on US yet. I mean, I'm like one behind because it's just not really doing it for me. So
I was so at sea, if you will, with the new season of the US. And I was like stalled out at like the 4th episode where they brought back the losers from the 1st episode. And I was like, it's too many people. I give up.
It's so long already.
But I complained about it on Twitter. and somebody was like, just skip to Snatch Game.
It's a good advice.
It was great advice. I snipped to Sketch Game, and I've never been happier.
Macon Bacon was his childhood nickname. Wow.
Oh, my childhood nickname was Ben Gay.
Oh, well, that's actually really clever. Kids are so mean.
Well, they didn't mean it as a compliment.
Yeah, well, I figured.
They weren't like, Ben Gay, you go, girl.
You're like, yes. All right. Well, speaking of things that done been making us gay. Oh my God, my cat is going crazy. Live from New York.
Like a drum roll. That was drum noise.
Tuesday morning.
Autumn, winter, next year.
Time heals everything. It's a song. Time heals everything.
I was just enjoying our intro, and I did not do the thing with the Broadway roots.
Well, while you're doing it, Caroline, is that your nickname? Your nickname was Washing Line. I don't get that. Is that
Did
like
I just do this?
Washing Line? Oh my God, this is tripping me out. I don't want to hear.
I shared it twice.
Oh wow.
I don't know how it works.
Your pleasure. As you can guess, a lot of people just called me Danielle because I
did not guess. I don't know you. I didn't think people were so. I don't know what I did. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, everything.
Hi, Georgia.
Danielle. We always call you Danielle.
Yeah, I mean now I love it, but back then it was like because I was femme.
Your hair didn't help.
What?
Your hair is not helping. Washing line as in Caroline. Yeah. Washing line hail.
Washing line hail.
I feel like washing line wasn't a thing when I was growing up. Caroline, you should have come and lived in LA because we didn't know what a washing line was. We would have just had to call you like because I was I don't know why that's funny now.
Put it on my Zoom.
It's funny. Anything Robbie says is funny. It doesn't matter what the context is.
I agree. Okay, well, our first segment for today is what I'm dying to hear, and that is the results from our latest Mama Rose Gypsy poll on You'll Never Get Away From Me. Hold on, where's the thing? Here we go.
Everything's coming up, Mama.
So good. Well, as y'all know, we are doing this playlist called Roses and Daffodils, which is what we consider the definitive Rose recordings from the various casts of Gypsy that have been, released on album. And so we're polling our friends and supporters and fans to get their take one song at a time. This week was You'll Never Get Away From Me. And we began with an Instagram poll where people could really vote for each of the 7 options: Angela Lansbury, Bernadette Peters, Bette Midler, Ethel Merman, Imelda Staunton, Patti LuPone, and Tyne Daly. Mm-hmm. And on Instagram, the winner was Bette Midler, followed by Angela Lansbury, followed by Patti LuPone. And so, it's tricky because we can't get that many options on the Twitter poll. So we just go with those top 3. Bernadette was the 4th, but she was farther behind. So then we have like an other category, or Daniel and I don't always do it the same, but, I was when I was doing the final tally this morning, I see that it affects them because there's a big advantage to getting into that top 3 or 4 and being on Twitter. Yeah. If you're not getting that second, certainly there are people in the Twitter poll who might have voted for Ethel or Bernadette who, instead of going with other, just said, what the hell, I'll vote for,
right.
that or whatever. So, there's a gap in the results. That said, the final results are coming in, this is combined Twitter and Instagram, the winners of the weekly poll, and You'll Never Get Away From Me. In last place with a mere 2 votes, sorry to say, is Dear Tyne Daly. And
it wasn't her time.
It wasn't her time. And then inching ahead of her by 1 vote with 3 votes is Imelda Staunton.
Of course.
In 5th place, sad to say, and some of the old queens are not going to be too happy about this, was Broadway's great Ethel Merman with 11 votes. And certainly impacted negatively by not being in the top 3 for Twitter with only 19 votes was Bernadette Peters.
Wow. Shocking.
In 3rd place with 48 votes, Bette Midler.
Oh, wow.
Here's where it gets interesting. We've been having a lot of Patti LuPone wins so far.
Yeah.
Even when it's not my choice, I'm still not mad at a Patti LuPone win. But she came in 2nd here with 59 votes on You'll Never Get Away From Me, Patti LuPone. And the winner on You'll Never Get Away From Me with 65 votes, first to get the coronavirus vaccine, is Angela Lansbury.
Dame Angela. Wow. That's so exciting. I mean, it's just exciting when they switch things up, you know?
Yes.
I feel like in the past, it's always been like Patty Bernadette, Patty Bernadette, Patty Bernadette.
It's funny too, because we were privately between ourselves. Tyne deserves more love, absolutely. But poor Taryn, I can't even imagine what you're going through, dear heart.
Taryn, don't talk that way about Bernadette.
You dumb hotel. We were talking privately and saying like this idea of like what are like the interesting votes and what's like a basic bitch choice. But really, like, there's even different kinds of basic bitches. Like, I feel like, you know, a certain kind of basic bitch is voting for Bette Midler because she's, like, the most famous. But, like, another basic bitch is, like, Patty and Bernadette, or, like, in the 2000s. Like, who are these old people, you know? And it's, like, so whereas, like, somebody else might be choosing Bette not because they're basic, but because, like, they're, like, I've studied all the roses, and that's who I like on this kind of legato line, you know?
We cannot tell. I mean, on Instagram, you can only vote once. You're not allowed to vote twice. On Twitter, you can't tell who votes for what.
But you still can only vote once on Twitter.
Can you not only vote once on Twitter?
You can only vote once on Twitter.
Right.
Unless you have 2 accounts, like some people I know.
Right.
But
we can't see who voted for what on Twitter.
But I have a tally of all the votes we've ever gotten on Instagram.
Yes.
So I know.
Got the receipt. I'm upset about Ethel showing. Yeah, I mean, we'll cover all of this in the pod episode. It is upsetting, but you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way the egg roll rolls.
Let's not forget though that the end of the story, that sweet alt. Yes, please go on your Finsta and show me your ass, and you can have another vote for Ethel Merman. But talking to you, Couch. But what do you call it? The final playlist, when Daniel and I make it, you know, we're going to be advised by the will of the people.
Yeah.
But that is not to say that the numerical winner
right
is going to be the winner. We're going to make our own chicken dinner, and the votes are going to be an ingredient, Prickett.
Yes. By the end of the podcast, hopefully we will have made Prickett.
Caitlin Duffy Hall. Bette has an advantage with more recording experience. Yeah, well, you know, Bernadette has an experience from like practicing more. I mean, that at a certain point, you know, we're not all equal. They show up and they've got to just deliver.
By the way, whenever we finally do a live show, I think the name of it should be Next Year Some Year Live at Caitlin Duffy Hall.
Caitlin Duffy Hall.
Really leaning into it.
I think I'm changing my name to Ben Rimalower Hall. Actually, Ben Rimalower Hall sounds like when I'm dead, like what they'll call like you know, the musical theater like practice room at Berkeley.
What they'll call the toiletries aisle of Target.
God, don't even get my hopes
up. You're just like RuPaul. RuPaul. Caitlin Duffy RuPaul. I don't know.
I thought he meant me, like I'm like a Ruben. But I guess that's a sandwich. which I do good with.
Oh, I love a Reuben.
Yeah, it's good.
Anyway, what are we doing? What's next? We have some appreciations.
Oh, yes. Well, when you see arrivals, that's the time to roll mine.
Gotcha. Well, we have a submission, so we'll do that first.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Every time that Patty woo-woo, my cats look up.
Yeah, well.
Okay, so today we have a submission from our very own darling of the stream, Taryn Stain. Been around the freshman dorm at Belt University. Yes.
That's Stansfeld University.
Yes. I'm glad Taryn submitted this one because it's rather lengthy and it'll give me time to take a bathroom break. Because I've already watched it. It's fabulous. So here's her intro, and then we'll go straight into her video, which is a beloved diva of the stream.
Hi Daniel and Ben. As you know, you are trying to destroy me mentally and emotionally with your Roses and Daffodils quest. So this video is what I've stumbled across while I was down the deep dark rabbit hole of various versions of Madame Rose. This video is Betty Buckley at Carnegie Hall, and it came up when I was on YouTube and I wasn't sure what it was. But when I watched it, I don't think I breathed the entire time I watched it because it's just so ballsy, and I love that. So it's Norma Desmond straight into Madame Rose, and the on-stage costume change was the greatest thing I've ever seen. Betty Buckley is a global treasure who must be protected at all costs. This video is so great, and it's my appreciation station today, and I hope that you'll all enjoy it.
Here we go. Ballsy Buckley.
Are we getting the full 2 songs right now?
Yes, honey. We're doubling our pleasure today.
With one look, you'll know all you need to know. With one look, I'll ignite a blaze. I'll return to my glory days. They'll say Norma's back at last. This time I'm staying for good. I'll be back where I was born to be. With one look, I'll be me. Here she is, boys! Here she is, Rose! Here's Rose! Turn up, light the light. Play it, boys! You've either got it or you ain't. And boys, I got it. You like it? Well, I got it. Some people got it and make it pay. Some people can't even give it away. This people's got it and this people's spreading it around. You either have it or you've had it. Hello, everybody. My name is Rose. What's yours? How do you like to make rolls, Mr. Goldstone? gonna show it to ya. Ready or not, here comes Mama. Mama's talking loud, Mama's doing fine, Mama's getting hot, Mama's going strong, Mama's moving on, Mama's all alone, Mama doesn't care, Mama's letting loose, Mama's got the stuff, Mama's letting go, Mama's got the stuff, Mama's gotta move, Mama's gotta go, Mama's gotta let go. Why did I do it? Why did it get me? Scrapbooks full of me in the background. Give 'em love, and what does it get you? What does it get you? One quick look has eaten to a bleacher. All your life, what does it get you? Thanks a lot, and out with the garbage. They take bows and you're back zero. I had a dream. I dreamed it for you too. It for me, Herbie. And if it wasn't for me, then where would you be, Miss Gypsy Rosie? Well, someone tell me, when is it my turn? Don't I get a dream for myself? Starting now, it's gonna be my turn. Gangway, well, get off of my runway. Starting now, I'm about 1,000 this time, boys. I'm taking the bows. And everything's coming up roses. Everything's coming up roses. Everything's coming up roses this time for me. For me. For me. For me. For me. For me. For me.
Oh my God.
Yes. Oh my
Oh.
God. That just validated my parking.
I mean, Betty is really the only one who I like doing Rose's Turn out of context. You know,
Yeah.
I never want them to do that in concert. I'm always like, sing some people or everything's coming up roses, or just keep it to yourself. But when Betty does Rose's Turn in concert, it's a win for
Yes.
all.
Yes.
Mm.
Thank you, Tara. And I'd never seen that full clip, and I'd definitely never seen the costume change. That's thrilling.
Oh, I wish that concert were. I mean, it's all on YouTube now, but I wish it had been filmed like Bernadette's.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I am glad also just this gypsy journey that I've been on with you and the viewers. It's definitely introduced me to different Rose performances that I'd never seen before. So.
Yes, well. I saw her twice at Paper Mill Playhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there had been an album of that production. I mean, it was really sensational. God, I mean, that I'll tell you, her Rose's Turn would be a real contender for my favorite Rose's Turn if that were recorded
on the docket. Yeah,
we did record it twice on her live albums in the '90s, but they're out of print. But I love them.
Yeah, love Miss Betty Lynn Buck. Let's see. Should I go ahead and play yours, or should
my appreciation? Yeah.
Do you want to?
I'll just introduce this to say that. Well, I'll tell you, we have a very special guest today on the pod. Not the pod. What is this? On the live stream, who is fabulous Broadway and TV star, Tony nominee Sam Harris, and he's got his memoir Ham that came out a couple of years ago. Well, more than a couple of years ago. He did an amazing one-man show, musical memoir, he calls it, of Ham, that's available on Amazon Prime, that I watched. Is fabulous. A Broadway HD channel. And he sings this song in it. For anyone that doesn't know, I mean, Sam, of course, starred on Broadway in The Life and fabulously in Grease in the Rosie O'Donnell revival. But he began in the 80s on Star Search, and just got one of the great voices. And certainly, I mean, I don't know if there is a bigger voice anywhere. But Sam, anyway, he sings a little bit of this song in Ham. And I was like, I've never heard him sing this. This is really great. And I knew that y'all would appreciate it. So I found another clip of him singing it elsewhere to share with you for my appreciation.
I'm so excited. Okay, we'll play the clip and then we'll go straight into our talk with Sam.
Okay, great.
Don't tell me not to let you sit, butter. I'm standing on my side of all of it. Don't bring around the cloud rain on my parade. Don't tell me not to fly. I've simply got to. If someone takes the spell, it's me and not you. Who told you you're allowed to rain on my parade? How much my band now to beat my drum? And if I find out the time that meant sir, at least I didn't make it cancer. I guess I didn't make it, but whether I'm the rush of affection, a red color, my nose, a white complexion, the sinner or the shiny apple of its eye. I gotta fly once, I gotta try once, hold me, can I once, right, sir? Ooh, let me juicy, and you say, I gotta have my butter. Get ready for me, love, 'cause I'm a comer. I simply gotta march my heart to drum. Don't bring around the cloud rain on my parade. I'm gonna live and live now. Get what I want, I know how. One roll for bottle shopping, one throw and bell clang. Eye on the target and wham. One shot, one gunshot and bam. Hey world, here at least I didn't fake it, sir. I guess I didn't make it. You ready for me, love? 'Cause I'm a comer. I simply out of my mind to nobody, oh nobody is gonna rain on me.
Oh my God. That will join the ranks of the great Don't Rain on My Parade performances with Barbara, Lilius. It's right up there. Wow.
I mean, Sam is, I think, the only man who's like a belter, a real belter.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes you listen to men like with big like operatic voices, or like even like, you know, Sergio Franchi or something, and you're like, a man's voice can be bigger than a woman's voice, but it's different. It's not belting. It's just like, you know, it's like a bigger tree. But
Yeah.
Sam's literally like a belter. It's actually it has the same prowess and like you know, jazz to it. I mean, I think that's so thrilling.
I will definitely be visiting that again. Well, without further ado, let's bring in the man himself, Mr. Sam Harris.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Sam.
A clip that was like a concert already.
Oh my God. Well, you see, before you, we had Betty Buckley. There was like 3 songs and a costume change. I was like, this is over the limit.
How are you?
you?
I'm good. You look very distinguished. I haven't seen you with the beard.
You know why? Because I can't get it trimmed in you can get a haircut, but you have to keep your mask on. So I'm left to my own devices.
You need someone, you pay someone to trim your beard?
Oh, it's so fabulous. You get the hot towel and oh my God, I live for it.
Yeah, I just take, clippers and go.
Well, listen, you're a goy. You don't have
more fancy than me.
No, Sam. Oh my God, I gotta tell you. Sam and I worked together. I produced the audiobook that he read so beautifully.
Yes,
his
you
first
did.
book, his memoir, Ham, and then he's done this incredible. I was just telling everybody a musical memoir, your solo show of Ham that is now available on Broadway HD on Prime, and I hadn't watched it. And our mutual friend, your brilliant musical director and now co-star, I see, Todd Schroeder, had been telling me, "Oh, you got to watch it. You got to watch it." And I was like, I feel like I know it by heart. We did the book. I know all the stories. Finally, I was like, okay, he's coming on the show. I got to watch it. I got to watch it. It was so different and so wonderful and special. I mean, it really is a musical. All this original songs, and it was so incredible. Why did I just bring that up?
Because it's my movie of my show. That's when you brought it up.
Yeah, I'm plugging.
What are you going to do? Bring up Sweeney Todd?
No, you made me think of it. Now I don't even know why. But yeah, it's fabulous. Everybody needs to watch it.
Well, and, obviously, you produced the audible of Ham, Slices of a Life, and then what happened? As you know, or for you guys who've read it, it's not chronological. It's stories and essays and memories and show business and family and all this stuff. But the show itself is chronological and becomes, like you said, it's a musical in which I play 12 different characters. And when we were developing it, Todd and I have been doing readings on the road, like to promote the book. And it sort of started to find some feed. And then my dear friend Susie Dietz, brilliant producer, came to me and said, "Do you want to really fully develop this?" So we worked with Billy Porter for about 3 or 4 weeks, I think, really deconstructing it and turning these stories into scenes, and him encouraging me to write scenes instead of talk about it, dramaturgically, and then write new songs that Todd and I wrote some, I wrote some. So that's how it developed. And then we did it in New York, and Billy directed it there. Then we did it here, and Ken Sawyer directed it here. And the Pasadena Playhouse, where we shot it, is just a gorgeous house. So, it was so exhausting, Ben. I'm glad I don't have to do it anymore.
No, you do have to do it more. But when we do, I mean, the book is so great. It's like it's exactly what you said. It's not chronological, and it's all these great stories, showbiz and life, and they're essays. I mean, each one could stand on its own. It's like a David Sedaris book, And one of the things in it that I treasured so much and was learning about Jerry Blatt, who I didn't know anything about, and was such a great, fascinating character. Daniel, you would love this stuff because he was also Bette Midler's manager or writer.
He was her writer and director. He really sort of created that persona with her. He directed all her shows. It's
a fascinating character, and he really just leapt off the pages of the book. But then in the musical memoir of him, where there's a whole section where you play him, and it's so funny, and he comes to life so vividly, and it opens it up so much, and it was so much fun, and I'm so happy that I watched it.
I am too. I'm thrilled that you watched it. It was tricky. Jerry, of course, was an exaggerated version of him. I made his little thing more like a vaudeville shtick, if you recall. But
I bought it.
No. I mean, it was his sense of humor and his thing, but I also used him to narrate part of my story during the Star Search part. But the tricky part about playing these multiple characters, for the most part, I could switch and I could do and whatever. But this isn't all just fun and let's do a tap show. This is very emotional, and there's a suicide attempt and stuff, as you know. And like the scene where I'm playing my high school psychology teacher who basically saved my life. And we had this conversation in which young Sam is broken and weeping. And the psychology teacher is straight ahead and in my face. And I'm switching back and forth these. It was so peculiar as an actor to like, I'm literally crying as one character. I switched to being stronger in the other character. I switched back to me and I'm crying. And it was like this weird thing of learning to technically also, rather than emotionally, turn it off and turn it on and turn it off and turn it on. I'm kind of Sibylle. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like, see you next fall. I'm kind of, yeah.
Well, speaking of your childhood in Oklahoma, I think I told you over email, but there's the funniest coincidence that Daniel's from Oklahoma. And you tell him, Daniel.
Tell me.
I brought it to show you. The first time I ever saw you perform, maybe the only time I've seen you perform live, was at the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame induction, because my granddad, Les Gillum, was inducted the same night.
Oh, right.
So
That's right.
I have a t-shirt with you guys on it, and I wear it around the house all the time. So, like, you know, you're just a regular visitor in my house now.
Just right on top of you.
Yeah.
No, that was wonderful. I was really honored to do that, to be chosen for that. You know, it's so ironic because I had a really lovely childhood in many ways, but also a very sort of painful, difficult child in many ways, growing up in the Bible Belt, gay and all, you know, it wasn't always easy. So it's something that at this point now where there's some acknowledgement and respect and appreciation that I didn't feel necessarily all the time. It's nice.
Yeah.
Well, they should be proud of you. I mean, the part of what's so moving about, you know, your story is to come from that and, you know, and the darkness of that suicide attempt in your childhood. And then to become a big star. I mean, even before you got to Broadway with Star Search in the 80s, I mean, just, you know, that you just leapt out of there, you know, and to be one of their, you know, what's the expression, favorite son? Or something?
Favorite son, yeah.
Favorite son. And, you know, but I want to know, because the new book that you've written, The Substance of All Things, is not a memoir, it's a novel.
That's right, it's literary fiction. It's a whole different game. Yeah.
When did you start working on that?
Well, it was very interesting because after Ham, I was asked to come to New York and have a sit down and have a lunch with Mitch Ivers.
My uncle Mitchell Ivers, the great editor who edited
and Jen Bergstrom, who's head of gallery at Simon & Schuster. And they said, we want you to write fiction. And I was like, what? Because I had imagined just writing a series of these books and stories and humorous and whatever. We really think you have the chops to write fiction. And it's been, you know, you've shown that in the way you write. It's not just your stories, it's the way you describe, and it's poignant and so. And I said, okay, it really threw me. And then I went into a writer's block, which I've never had in anything I've done. Once I sit down, and whether it's put fingers to keyboard or write a song or write a play or whatever, I click into it. This was not happening, and it really threw me. And I was given a couple of ideas to explore, didn't really fly. And about a year later, I was actually having dinner. Danny, my husband, and I were having dinner at our friends Doug and Paula's, and my friend Doug was like, "You never have. What's going on with you?" And he just started asking me these questions about my childhood and all these things, and it just sparked this idea from a story that I had touched on years before. And I said, do you have a legal pad? And so instead of having dinner with them, I sat in the corner and just started making notes. And then it just clicked. And I write very fast, but I edit very slow. So I've learned not to sit and judge it and rewrite. You never get past the first page if you do that.
Yeah.
So I vomit it. And it's set in two times. One is 1968 in rural Oklahoma. This boy, Theo, 12 years old. And then the other story is Theo as an adult, and he's a therapist, and he's able to, through his work with this very broken woman, look back at his childhood and this very traumatic summer. So the first time I wrote it, it was all just the young story. And then actually Mitchell said to me, what happens to Theo? What happened to Theo? And I started thinking about it, and it created this whole other story. And then, yeah. So anyway, I'm so proud of it. It's called The Substance of All Things. And, oh, wait, I might have a copy.
Yeah.
But he has to get up. It wasn't premeditated because it's not there by the computer.
If it was premeditated, I would have done this. Oh wait, I might. This is the book. The substance.
Beautiful.
I love
There
that.
it is. And I'm so proud of this. It's my best work ever.
Wonderful.
And it's a freaking movie. It's such a movie. And I did the audible of this, Ben, without you. And it was not as easy or fun. And also the first book, you know, again, these stories, these short stories, this is, I mean, it took so long to read this because it's whatever, you know, 380 pages or something. And it's deep. And also I'm doing different characters in this because different, you know, conversations. And after about 4 hours, your mouth, you know, the muscle starts. But you know what I remember about you is you would correct my pronunciation on a couple of things. And I was so grateful because if I had mispronounced, it were like a Russian city or something. And if I had mispronounced it, I would have been forever humiliated.
Oh, you want to know my favorite story about that? We were doing Hillary Clinton's book, Hard Choices. And so we had the pronunciation guide because when you do audiobooks, you have to prepare because, you know, then it's permanent and you get a lot of shit.
Exactly.
Attach it, you know. And so she said the name of some town in Illinois. I can't even remember, but it was different the way she said it than what we had. Right. And I was just the associate on that. And my boss, Elisa, said, my boss at the time said, "Oh, excuse me, you know, Madam Secretary, she waited, you know, till Hillary had coughed or paused or whatever. You know, we just went going back to the town, whatever it was, you said it this way, and you know, we had it this way." And Hillary said, "Oh, okay. Well, how do you know?" She goes, "Well, you know, we checked." She goes, "How do you check that?" And my boss says, "Well, we called in that case, we called this the Chamber of Commerce." And Hillary said, "Okay, well, I'll give it to you both ways. You can use whatever you want." Great. We do it. The end of the week, we do the final part of the book. There was some other thing. "Excuse me, Madam Secretary, actually, the way we have this word." And she goes, "It's called the Chamber of Commerce." She was kidding. It was so fucking funny.
But that's funny.
It was very funny.
Madam Secretary.
Yeah.
You never were like, "Hey, Hill."
No.
Page 13.
I'm not like with you, Sam. It wasn't so Hamisha.
By the way, your name here, Bentel.
Yes.
Is that like Yentl?
It's exactly like Yentl.
Okay.
Thank you for getting me.
Of course.
I'm coming out as a transvestite yeshiva girl.
What do you mean you're coming out? Did you do this a while back with this yeshiva girl? Also, when we're done, you have to email me where you got your glasses.
They're Warby Parker.
Stop it, really?
Yeah.
I feel like everyone I know has some version. Some people have them there. It's like a fly. But yours are like, you know, they're just bleached.
Oh, like super.
Swifty Lazar glasses.
Lazar. That's another character.
Yours are the right size.
Thank
anyway.
you. Thank you. Well, we have some questions for you from fans, Sam.
Okay.
Our dear friend Robbie Rozelle has a question for you. He wants to know, how much has Ham changed since the run in New York at Ars Nova?
A lot. I mean, that was definitely, no, I shouldn't say that. That was basically the play. Changes happened, rewrites happened of stores when we went to Los Angeles. But the most important thing is that first production that Billy directed was more of just to get it up. It was an experimental thing. We played it for weeks, and it evolved. It was like previews kind of almost until, well, I shouldn't say it was experimental because we were reviewed by everybody. But in Los Angeles, the production just got large. It got to be a full-on show, and it's beautiful. I wish we had talked, Ben. I would love to. There's a trailer, you know, for the movie, and I wish we had that because I'd love for you guys to see it.
We'll post that and tweet that afterwards.
It's really beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's all these projections and these screens, and you know, the Star Search banner comes down, and there's this fabulous lighting, and it's very complete. It's complete.
You know what? When our mutual friend Richard J. Alexander, when I did my one-man show, he was like, you know, I like it, but I think maybe it would benefit from having some more physical aspects, some video stuff, some kind of a set. And I was like, it doesn't need that. It doesn't need that. And I was watching Ham, and I was like, oh wow, that works so great.
Yeah. Wait, are you talking about the Patty show?
Yeah.
You didn't need anything else. You
No,
didn't.
I watched yours, and I was like, it fills it out. It really, I mean, they're different, whatever. But it
was very important to me. I wanted to make sure that this did not feel like an archived show, that we didn't set up 2 cameras in the back and say, okay, this is what was, you know? And when we got together, well, Ken Sawyer directed the stage show here. He was a brilliant director. Yeah. And then Pachogle filmed it. He was the director of the film. And we had these long talks, and I said, it's got to feel like a movie. It can't feel like we just set up some cameras. So we had cranes, and we had, you know, platformed 5 cameras, and dolly, and we used we shot 2 live performances, and then we did a pickup day the next day, so we could just get up in my face, because I did not want to stop and start and stop and start since we were shooting with an audience. Yeah. I wanted it to have that arc and that emotional feeling. I could have done that certainly as an actor, to stop and start, and then maybe that would have been better. I wouldn't have been so schwitzy. But
no. That's the magic.
There was something about the audience had going on that ride, and so I
think you did it perfect. You got the best of both worlds.
Thank you.
And everybody should watch it. It's on Broadway HD on Prime, and it's must see. And if you like Sam singing "Don't Rain on My Parade," the way he sings in this show, Revival, and all these original songs that you wrote with Todd, I guess some of them.
I wrote a few with Todd. I wrote a few myself, and then there's other songs that I cover.
Yeah, and there's just little snippets of a million of the great songs that Sam. Oh, there's one more question for you from Josh Shear. One of his fave Broadway experiences was seeing The Life the day after it won the Tony, and you'd been nominated, and you performed your song "Use What You Got" with Liza Cy Coleman at the piano at the curtain call. What the hell? Can you tell us about that night? How you prepared and rehearsed, and what was that iconic moment? Thanks for putting it on YouTube. Question.
So yes, the Tonys were the night before. The Life had 4,000 nominations, including me, and the show lost to Titanic. And but
by the way, so many people. That was the year before I moved to New York, so I knew the album, but I hadn't seen it. But everyone I meet that was here before me, that, you know, went to NYU. The Life is such a treasured, favorite, important musical. You know,
it's a great score, and it was an amazing cast. And Chuck Cooper actually won the Tony in this category, and well deserved.
And of course, Lilius White.
The next morning,
over,
Pardon me.
And we're obsessed with Lilius White, who was so fabulous.
Lilius was amazing. Lilius was wonderful, and I'm such a mensch. She's just such a soul. Anyway, sorry, I have schmutz. anyway, so the next morning, Liza and I were very good friends, and Cy called, and he said, we need to turn this back to us. We need to get some press the day after, right? Which I always find it awful that after the Tonys, you have to work the next day. You shouldn't have to work the next day. Anyway, so I called Liza, or I called Liza, or whatever, and this was this plan that she was going to come at curtain call, and she had spent a lot of time at the theater in my dressing room and hanging out. She loved the show. Anyway, so we got together right before, half an hour before curtain, and worked it out. And when I say worked it out, we worked out the key, we worked out sort of the arrangement we were going to do. And then in my dressing room during the show, I would come in for a change, and she'd say, and let's do this. Let's do this. We'll go. I got a move for you, baby. And, we were doing all this stuff. So then at curtain call, Cy, I mean, this is what's iconic. They rolled out a spinet, and Cy Coleman comes out and says, Liza said she would do this. She comes on the stage. She's already mic'd. She's hoisted up onto the stage. And we did the song. And then the orchestra comes in. I mean, it's like one of those, and it wasn't the key of the show. The orchestra comes in, I think, or maybe that was my imagination, but I think they did. And so it was like one of those movie magical moments where just everybody knows the song. And it was fantastic. It was a ball. And really one of those things that makes theater like nothing else. That can't happen. But it's also a testament to the club of the Broadway, of all theater. That the club, that you support each other and you help each other and you show up, and it makes it magical. I mean, nobody knew that was going to happen in the audience. And it was just like this lovely person who just asked this question. It was a special night. It was a joy. And yeah, it's YouTube. It's a screen.
We'll all watch it, but anytime seeing you perform is a special, magical night. I'm so happy that you're sweating at the end of Ham, a musical memoir, because that's what's so great, Sam. I mean, you are just such a generous performer that, in everything you do, whether it's this or whether it's an actual musical play or whether it's a cabaret show, you give to the audience. What do they say? You leave it all on the field, And we
I would say I do that. I have never, ever phoned in anything.
I don't doubt it.
And it's actually a problem in rehearsals because I'm not a marker. I don't really mark because, I mean, if I sing something 15 times, I'll start to not, but I tend not to mark because I don't learn anything when I mark.
Yeah.
Unless I'm doing blocking or something. I don't learn anything. When I'm doing it and I'm doing it for real, then I gain information. I learn something. I'll tell you, one of the greatest experiences I ever had was I was having a major vocal problem. This was when we were doing Ham the first time in Los Angeles. And I was told not to speak for 5 days. And we were opening like that weekend. What? Right? I couldn't speak. And so the stage manager had to read all my lines when we were teching.
Oh, God.
And but what it made me do was go through the show emotionally because we were having run-throughs for tech. And it made me go through the show emotionally because I had to rehearse on some level. We were opening in 3 days or whatever. And I had to go through the show emotionally with someone else reading the words. And I learned more in those rehearsals. It made me think about the words and how they were affecting me. It was really a horribly strange gift.
Well, I guess that's a very talented stage manager too.
Well, yeah, she was great, but it's not like she was reading, she was reading the lines perfunctorily. But it just made me listen to the words in a different way, probably because I'm like, that's not the way it should be read. But no, it was very helpful.
That's hilarious. Well, I'm glad you recovered, and I look forward to the next time I see you on stage because it's always a real treat. Thank you so much for joining us, Sam. You are the greatest, and I really appreciate it.
It's great to see you, and it's good to meet you, Daniel. And I happily will remain on your chest.
Yes, right here.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, Sam. Oh, you're lovely.
Lovely, the best. I'm so happy he came.
Yes, thank you, Sam. I like when our listeners also have questions for the
Yes, me too. That went by so fast.
I know. I cannot even believe how late it is. Do we want to do our next segment, or do you want to save that until next week?
I'm up for it. It's up to you.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Here's my favorite part.
You really sing out. You really build the song. There are very few of us left.
Sorry. Gotta move.
Gotta move. Okay. In the theme of this week's Roses and Daffodils, You'll Never Get Away From Me, here's the first clip.
You'll never get away from me. You can climb the tallest tree.
Is that
there somehow?
Is that Lisa Kirk?
True.
Nope. Roz?
You could
Nope.
say, hey, here's your hat. But a little thing like that couldn't stop me now. I couldn't get away
It's someone you love.
from you, even if you told me to. So go on and try.
Oh.
Try, and you're gonna see.
Is it not Betty Hutton? No, I know who it is.
That couch got it. Karen Morrow.
That's who I was gonna guess, but I couldn't think of her last name.
I felt your process.
I was like Grassharp. Yes, I love her.
Yeah.
Love her so much. Good job, everyone.
Okay, here's one that a lot of people were disappointed was not included in our poll.
You'll never get away from me. You can climb the tallest tree. I'll be there somehow.
Linda Lavin?
You could say, hey, here's your hat. But a little thing like that couldn't stop me now. I couldn't get away from you, even if
What's going on, people?
So
It's a commercial recording.
Is this from the movie?
No. But she was in another movie that you love.
No.
Get away from
If you enjoy this, you might be wondering who taught her everything she knows.
Oh.
Yes, Michael T. Hazlitt Beach, New Jersey.
Wait, what was the? I don't get the hint. Taught her everything she knows.
That's Mrs. Bryce. Okay, here's something a little jazzier.
You never get away from me. You can climb the tallest tree. I'll be there somehow. True. You could say, hey, here's your hat.
Yes, there he is. Mucho music for the win.
I love it.
Okay, here's one I did not know existed. I doubt anyone will get it, but I was happy that it's there.
Is it Katharine Hepburn?
No, but it is someone who starred in a major movie musical. It's Shawnee Wallace from the movie Oliver. Famous to Southern California musical theater audiences for playing Sally in Follies at the Long Beach Civic Light Opera opposite Karen Morrow. But she was Nancy in the movie Oliver.
There's someone named Shawnee?
Yeah.
Shawnee, what's her last name?
Wallace.
Shawnee Wallace. Like Wallace Shawn. Wow.
That's funny. I never thought of that. That's really funny.
Shawnee Wallace and Wallace Shawn.
Oh my God. That cracks me up. Okay, here's classic everyone will get right away, but still great.
You'll never get away from me. You can climb the tallest tree. I'll be there somehow. True, you could say, hey, here's your hat. But a little thing like that couldn't stop me now.
Yeah, that's the one that everyone should get.
Away from you, even if you told me to. So go on and try.
No.
Somebody knows this. Come on.
Is that Judy?
Say the last name.
Judy Kuhn?
Yes. There are too many Judys.
Yeah, I got it. When she went into the mix, I got it then.
Yeah, her mix is legendary.
Legend.
Okay, I think this is our, well, see if you get this.
You never get away from me.
Whoa.
You can climb the tallest tree. I'll be there somehow. True, you can say, hey, here's your hat, but a little thing like that couldn't stop me now.
Famous soprano, played a lot of belter roles in Summer Stock.
Oh, Lena?
Not Lena. But she famously starred in another ethnic musical on Broadway in the 50s.
Broadway in the 50s. God, I'm so bad at this today.
I mean, this one is hard.
Mitzi?
No, it's Carol Lawrence.
Oh, okay.
All right, couple more.
Couple more. Just give me, yeah, two more.
Okay. Let's do this.
You'll never get away from me.
The answer.
The tallest
Same
tree.
key.
I'll be there somehow.
Is this Roz?
Yeah.
True.
I was joking. I was joking at first because I thought it was a man, and then I was like, oh wait, it's not a man.
Well, here's a girl.
I couldn't get away from you, even if you told me to. So go on and try. Just try. Get away from me.
Oh,
She's
Not
17 and she's new here today.
wait. I don't get that reference, but I feel like I should.
Well, somebody got it.
She's 17. She's new here today.
Come on, Dolphy. You know, they're on a delay.
Connie Francis?
No.
Get away from. It's a very pretty voice.
Very pretty voice. Tony Award winner.
Not Sutton.
No. Older than Sutton, but younger than Connie. Not Laurie Zimmerman. Yes, Josh. Very good.
Salonga, yes.
By the way, I just realized a way to cheat at this game, especially when we do the obscure songs, is to just have YouTube on silent on your computer and be like, who even sang You'll Never Get Away From Me? Oh, Lea Salonga. That's my guess.
My parents love Lea Salonga. She's their favorite Fontaine.
She is far from my favorite Fontaine, but I do love her.
Well, Lea Salonga, I can't think of a better person to end on. We love her so much, but we're a little over time, so we have to go. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And thank you to our guest, Sam Harris.
Yes, fabulous. Everybody go get his books, Ham and the Substance of All Things, and watch Ham, a Musical Memoir on Prime, and treat yourself to a YouTube spiral of his fabulous belting.
Yes, I'm going to go watch that Liza clip stat. Make sure you also vote in our poll today. It's a big week. It's a big week. Everything's coming up roses. It's going to be a nail biter. Although
it'll be swell.
It'll be swell. Bye.
It'll be swang.
Autumn, winter, next year.
Time heals everything. It's a song. Time heals everything.